You ready to lose
I'm not
faith in
putting.
people, Joey? We got one more story for you before you go.
I've lost so much faith in people,
You
unfortunately,
ready to
and I
lose
don't
more
want
faith?
to, but I have. Yeah, I guess so. Hit me.
We got
Hit
this
me
for
with your
Washington
best
State.
shot.
Taxpayer funded drag show at schools. This is happening still in 2025, guys. Taxpayer funded drag show. Washington State Elementary School brings in drag performance to stage an R-rated Rocky Horror Picture Show for kids. R-rated Rocky Horror Picture Show for kids. I read that right. And then here's some images from the event. Here's this beautiful individual here. From these individuals are from my thumbnail, in fact. And it says one performer appeared to gear his act toward children by using songs from The Little Mermaid and Hannah Montana movie. There's also a bunch of. It goes on to talk about how there was bouncy castles and all kinds of games and stuff for children. So this State Elementary School is facing backlash after hosting the drag event for children that included drag performances featuring songs and characters from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, a cult classic film rated R for mature audiences. Citizen watchdog Dawnland attended the drag event at Donald Iceman Elementary School, part of the Summer Boney Lake School District, on July 26th. Which was promoted as a family-friendly event. While attendance was modest, Land noted that many attendees were parents with children. And then you had performers like this. There's no audio. We don't need the music. And she's literally dancing, shaking her ass in front of children. She's about to shake her breast here in about a second, assuming that's not a man.
Probably is a man.
It probably is a man.
Why they're walking in those heels.
Yeah. But this is for children. They put on this show for children directly. This is directly for children. This is disgusting. I mean, and this is all taxpayer funded. The Post Millennial has more pictures here. There's this guy. This guy should not be anywhere near children. I mean, you just look at this picture.
When you talk about shaming and stuff like this stuff. Oh
look at that. Look at that.
People aren't even like, oh my god.
I don't even know if I can show that on YouTube.
When you talk about, I mean, we just accept this shit as society. You got to give the left credit in this sense. When they protest, they will come to anything to protest. But anyone who's on the right couldn't even be bothered to show up here and try to flex some muscle. They don't even.
They're literally in front of a school.
The right is literally they're cowards. I'm sorry to say this, guys, but I hope it's not you guys I'm talking about. But a lot of people on the right are just cowards. They're afraid to be confrontational. They're afraid to stand up for what they believe in, and they believe that they don't even need to defend their beliefs in the public square. They just think that they're right, and if you don't believe in their way of life, then you're an X, Y, and Z.
Really,
and
I was just gonna add, Joey. It is really sad to think about how this man in the white dress with glossy orange high heels and a beard and long hair is more brave than most Republicans. And
I don't know what else to say. Like, I'm not trying to shit on.
That's just a factual statement. That this person outstanding, showing that they will stand for what they believe, is more than 90% of Republicans.
Like, I really don't want to just insult people. I'm not trying to do that, but time and time after again, Tyler does these news stories. I do these news stories. Tim Pool does these news stories. The Quartering does these news stories. Sinofsky does these news stories. And it's just time and time again, the left is willing to lay down their life for the silly bullshit that they believe in. And the right, who I feel like 75% at least are more justified in everything that they believe in. They're mostly correct about most things. They have a little bit of trouble seeing certain patterns in how, when the can gets kicked down the road, it can be used against them. They have a little trouble with that, but they mean well. But they're afraid, and they're afraid because the right does show up at this and they promptly get arrested. Well, then you got to keep. But the left has no problem getting arrested. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you need to get arrested.
Potentially going in jail by any means necessary is their modus operandi, and the right couldn't be bothered because they say things like, "Well, we have families." Well, you have a family. I understand that. And I understand I don't have a family like that on my own, other than, the family I was born into. But you can just wait till it gets to your doorstep to do something about it. Or you can try to band together and get this solved now, because look where it's gone. these fucking sick people who couldn't do this 20, 30 years ago are just doing this. They're fucking laughing at us. And we're just going to take it on the chin as usual.
And Reality Pocket brings up the point that I was actually about to bring up. The reason that the right shows up and gets arrested, and it's because Reality Pocket he's got it. It's because we don't attack them. They'll attack us, and we have to defend ourselves. And they'll either kill someone or end up in prison, or we'll end up in prison because we had to defend ourselves. And that's what it is. The right shows up and they get arrested because the cops know that if they arrest the people on the right, they won't do anything. But if they start arresting people on the left, they will get a fight. That's the difference. There's no fight behind the people on the right. They keep all this talk about we need civil war, we need to fight for this, fight for that. But you couple it with all the same people that say that will also say, why are you still in California? Why are you still in New York? Just leave those states. And it's like, okay, so just cede the ground. Just cede the ground. Give them the territory. Give them these states that have a vast amount of wealth and resources. Cede that territory to them.
I don't know where any of this stuff happens in New York. I mean, I know that they do certain things inside a school where they teach certain things. But like as far as like finding this type of stuff, like you won't see them actually do this stuff in like rough neighborhoods. It's usually in like Times Square
and white neighborhoods.
Where they could use civilians as like a shield, or there's already like police around.
That's why they do it in public though, because they're trying to get like public acceptance. That way, when you come up and you're like, you're disgusting, you shouldn't be exposing children to this, then you look like the crazy person because you're the one freaking out.
But I'm also like not the like part of the target audience. Okay, like they're in front of a school that I presume that and
in attendance it was mostly parents and kids.
Mostly parents and kids, and you see, so whatever school that they're in Washington, that there's probably right-leaning parents there, and like if I were a parent and I'm like, well, they're doing this drag thing in front of the school, then like, yeah, I'm going down there. But like I don't have that. But I do know that during COVID, when people on the right saw what their kids were finally being taught, then they didn't like that very much. So if they were involved in what was happening at the kids' school in the first place, I don't know if a lot of this would be a problem. But I think sometimes that people, we've gotten ourselves into this extended adolescence, which I don't necessarily have a problem with if you know how to balance it. But a lot of the times people just want to go back to the things they're doing, and they don't necessarily take a huge involvement in their kids' lives like they should be. And that's how old this stuff. This is the type of stuff the left takes advantage of. The left takes advantage of. They take advantage of people's psychology. Why do you think all of them want to like major in psychology? They want to know how to use it to their advantage.
You're absolutely right, Joey. I want to move on.